Hey, what's up, my little title tells you? Come in and shut the door, y'all. There is a civil war brewing in the Kardashian family. Now, I know before y'all checked out Instagram to see what Kanye posted, he didn't. This isn't about Kanye. This is about a civil war that is brewing between Kourtney and Scott. And guess what? Kris Jenner is giving Scott the assist. Now, before we get into it, let me just say this, right? Why would Kris Jenner be giving Scott the assist? Because Scott is willing to play ball. Scott is good TV. Scott is also Kourtney's ex, as you know. Scott is also a thorn in Kourtney's side ever since she turned into Travis and literally is having the best time of her life, living like no one's watching. That's right. Kourtney spent all season be like, you want to have that camera in my face? All right, you're going to see me make out with my boyfriend. Like, we're literally in third period in high school, literally hiding from the teachers. All right, let's get into this mess. But before we do, don't forget, if you guys want more information on the Kardashians or Kourtney, Scott, Travis, I do have 2 playlists. They have so many good videos with a lot of good, like, old school gossip you might not remember, a lot of funniness. Okay, fine, I'll stop promoting myself. Last thing, don't forget, this Tuesday we're celebrating reaching 100K, and also Real Housewives of Atlanta. We're doing right after the episode at 9 p.m. All right, so let's get into this, right? How do we know this is happening? Well, I'll tell you how. This is my opinion, but baby, listen, while you're cleaning the house, doing your job, whatever, we're going to have a quick kiki. And let me know what you think in the comments respectfully. So it all started with an odd story about how Scott thinks he's being excommunicated, right? And I remember seeing that and being like, that's weird. Anyway, right? What about my business? Because while Scott is trying so desperately to get into this family, Kanye is trying to get the heck out of there. So I was like, let me see what's going on with Kanye, whatever, right? So then Kris, oddly enough, issued a statement to E! News. You know that is Kardashian PR Central. Issued a statement to E! News being like, what are you talking about? He's the father of my grandchildren. We love him. I would ever. Actually, let me do a quick actual quote. She said, and I quote, right? This is after the page 6 report with Scott was like, they're trying to cut me out. She literally reported, right, in E! News and Paper Magazine's Instagram account, also to clear the air. She says Scott will never be excommunicated from our family. He's the father of my grandchildren, a special part of our family. We love him, and not true, y'all. And I said, that's weird. Kris hasn't responded to Ray J saying she's like a kingpin. She hasn't responded to Kanye. You haven't responded to half the people suing Kimberly Noel, right? Your prime cash cow. You haven't responded to anything. But you got something to say about Scott's always going to be family. And then the other shoe dropped. Literally, Scott made exclusive statements saying, well, not to me, but he made statements directly saying, yeah, I'm glad that's happening. He takes being in the Kardashian family very seriously and would be devastated to be cut out. And I said, wait a second. Something clicked, right? Now and again, it's my opinion. But look at this. Kourtney has long said she is sick of the hoopla. She has stopped liking her family post. She hasn't even done posts about her sisters. She only shows up to any events if they are contractually obligated under Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Otherwise than that, she's out stopping at gas stops, having the time of her life, being a tour wife, in between being mommy to her 3 children. Kourtney is happier than she's ever been. Even before Kourtney was happier than she's ever been, she always expressed interest in the fact that she was sick of the Kardashian game. She really felt like, I'm rich enough, I have enough to chill with my children, leave them a cute coin, and really enjoy what life has to offer. This enraged her sisters. This is why her and Kim got in an argument being like, you're the least interesting one to look at. And why don't you get up and work? And all this stuff. This enraged their sisters because they have to work so hard. Kim, Khloe, to like be that girl where Kourtney just sneezes and we're like, wait, what did Kourtney do? Look at the way Kourtney's wedding eclipsed everything. Look at the way we're so interested. Okay, and by we, I mean me. Okay, you guys with me? I'm getting to the point. Just listen. This is story time, all right? This is story time. For those of y'all that just want the news fast, might I advise you to hop, skip, and jump over to Google, because, baby, we chopping it up, all right? And who's here to chop it up? All right, cool. Let's continue. All right, so that's where we are. We also know from Kourtney's wedding, she didn't, first of all, the engagement, it was said that she didn't even want Scott there. And I can understand that, right? Kourtney was head over heels in love with Scott. Scott cheated on her, cheated about. Remember when he played her for having rain, talking about, you always do this, why'd you get pregnant, on camera, and basically cursed her the F out? Yeah, I ain't forgetting, neither did Kourtney. However, Kourtney found Travis. In Travis, she found the reciprocity of love that she could not get from Scott. And she fell hot and she fell heavy. Scott always thought Kourtney would be his option. Always thought that was there. Kourtney even tried to keep Scott close to the family so whenever Scott would calm down, they could be loved up again. All that changed when Kourtney actually found the guy that it looks like she's going to spend the foreseeable future with. All right, so what does that have to do with Scott and Kris? Because Kourtney is now like, and don't forget Travis, right? Travis is a man. It's like, listen, why does Scott have to be everywhere with the family? I understand he's the kid's father, but when it comes to filming and the kids are not around, why does Scott have to be around? Why do we have to come over to your house and Scott's in the living room? Why do we have to do that? Kourtney is saying, I don't want to see that person. Scott is like the plate of food after you gorge yourself on Thanksgiving. She doesn't want to see it. She is literally looking at your plate if you bought the restaurant bill. You don't want to see the food you ate. Travis damn sure doesn't want to see Scott around. Not that there's any beef, but come on, dude. Like, move around. Kourtney is saying, I don't want Scott around. Get him out of here. Not when it comes to pertaining with the kids. When the kids are around, fine, it's a group thing. But outside of that, you guys don't even like Scott. Well, I know what you're saying. You sure about that? Because Khloe seemed to like him. We'll talk about that later. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, check out the Kardashian playlist or just search Khloe because there's some tea on that one. When Scott was drunk, he said that he actually slept with Khloe. It's all alleged, I believe, in a Montauk shower in the Hamptons. Yes, in a hotel room in a Montauk in the Hamptons. Again, it's alleged, but okay. But let's get back on topic because you can find that video anyway. So, where are we at? Kourtney no wants Scott around. She's going out her way to tell everybody, I don't want to see his face. Scott thinks Kourtney is going to cut him out the family. That's why he started complaining to Page 6 about, I feel like the family's trying to cut me off. Kris Jenner then went against her own daughter. It's my opinion, alleged, speculation, but she then went against her own daughter to say, no, what are you talking about? Scott's always going to be family. Now, why would she do that? Because Scott plays ball. Like I said, Scott will film. Scott will give a good scene. Scott, low-key, is really, really good reality TV gold. So is Kourtney, but Kourtney is not playing those games. Let's also not forget the way Kourtney flipped out on everybody when they advertised what was going on. Not advertised, but used what was going on. Travis in the hospital for dollars. They lied and said they had pictures of her. All this stuff that really, really angered her, saying, you made pain out of the most painful part of my life. After that, she really wasn't messing with the family. She said she didn't want any pictures. She didn't want paparazzi. She didn't want none of that. And the sisters, it looks like, to be smart, stop posting her. These girls, I don't care what you guys say. Kourtney's been waiting for 20 years to get married. These girls didn't even post one picture of Kourtney on their main feed. And only Khloe and Kris even did a story. Allegedly, they stayed at her reception for only an hour before they bounced. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go ahead and watch the Kourtney Travis playlist. There's a bunch of stuff about that. Okay, so Scott's hit back. And he said that losing the KarJenner clan will always be a trigger. Following reports, he was excommunicated. He literally gave exclusive statements saying, Kourtney, I ain't going nowhere. But Scott, you're not slick. I see what you're doing. You literally are trying to stay in the cut because you're praying that Kourtney and Travis don't last. And when it doesn't last, you can catch Kourtney while she's sad from the breakup and y'all can get back going. The only thing is, and I said it once and I'll say it again, guys like Scott, people like Scott, that you're good enough, but you're not good enough to marry. You're good enough to chill with, waste time with, but they don't see you as the one. Guys like Scott Girls like Scott. Anybody like Scott. Yeah, when you're with someone and you seem happy, they'll fight because they're so mad that they lost their option, right? But once you're free again, they're not trying to get you to be number one. They were fighting so you could go back to being their option. So you know what? Kourtney peeps the game. He did it for forever. So good on him. Okay, so where is it? Listen. Okay, so here's the way. He literally said, right, that the Talentless founder, that's who Scott is, he has a brand called Talentless, says his worst fear, he was extremely upset that people were saying he was being cut out of the family because that's his absolutely worst fear. He worries constantly that he's going to lose them all. And he wanted to debunk reports that said Scott was cut out of the family after Kourt married Travis. They also said that Scott was happy to see Kourt's mom come to his defense regarding that Page 6 article that dropped on August 28th. They said he is so relieved when Kris spoke up to let the world know he's not going anywhere. But no matter how much they reassure him, it's always going to be a trigger for him. And despite Scott's attempts to play it cool, he's way more sensitive than most people realize, and he takes it very seriously because they're literally all the family he has left. You guys, again, I get it. The Kardashians have become Scott's family. When he lost his parents, they'll always be family to him. He's not had the easiest time dealing with Kourtney's marriage to Travis, but he's accepting it. Y'all, I can't. Listen, he put his foot down. He laid on the guilt. He'd be devastated if they ever tried to oust him. And they tell him all the time that will never happen. And Scott's so thankful that Kris spoke up for him with the false claims, as it meant a lot to him. Kris is a mom to him, and Kourtney's sisters are his sisters. Kourtney will always be the mother of his children. That will never change. God, I know Kourtney is sitting there reading this mess and being like, oh. But it's amazing to me that it looks like Kris Jenner chose Scott over Kourtney. But we all know Kris Jenner in my opinion, chooses whoever will put money in her pocket. And listen, I'm not mad at it. Get it how you live it. But it must suck when you're on the team that's not putting money in her pocket. Anyway, my little tattletales, let me know what you think in the comments respectfully. And I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh yeah, hit that like button on your way out. Bye.